Good day, everyone. You're all welcome once again to Explicit Physics Academic. I believe you all are doing very good and well. In our last class, we did talk about how to do well in physics, the basic 6 steps of which, as a student, doing physics, doing math, doing any of the science subject or engineering course, you have to follow on how to do well. And we talk about that you have to memorize some basic constant, basic terms. You have to know the basic math required in solving physics problem. And we talk about so much in our last video. If you've not watched the last video, do yourself a favor, pause this video, go back to the previous video and watch it so that you understand where we are coming from or where we'll be going from the previous video. But if you've done that already, then kudos to you. We are going to dive into today's topic. And what is today's topic? We are having on the board solving physics problems. Solving physics problems. A lot of students out there have been having problems when it comes to physics equations. The moment a problem is being placed in front of an average student, the first thing he gets scared of it. Like, what is this? I don't have any idea. No, you have an idea. The problem you're having there is because you've lacked those 6 steps on how to do physics, on how to solve physics problems, and now is another 4 steps in solving physics problems. You following me? So on the board, you're having distinguish the relevant concept, set up the problem, execute the solution, evaluate your answers. I'm going to be talking about these 4 steps, and I believe before you continue, do me a favor, click on the like button, subscribe, and share this video because someone out there will also need this video. Okay, as we're talking about solving physics problems, this is where a lot of people have been running away from physics. It's not about the what is motion, what is velocity, what is friction, state this law. No. Everybody can do that. All the art student can do that. The law student can do that. The commercial student, all those people, they can actually state all those laws because it's not to cram. But what really makes you or what distinguishes you from others is your knowledge in these 4 basic steps on how to solve physics problems. That's what differentiates you from other people. And the first step here is what? Distinguish relevant concepts. The moment a problem is given to you or you have been approached with a problem in physics to solve a problem. Let's say, for instance, let's take up a little problem. Let's say a motorcycle travels or a vehicle travel from town A to town B or from one country to the other country. And it says at a distance of this and also at so and 1 hour. Now calculate the average speed. Guys, I'm just trying to bring out the problem in respect to me explaining this distinguished relevant concept. Now you have heard of the problem. The moment you see the problem, you have to spot out those concepts. And what are those concepts? Those physical quantities. Now in the problem, it is stated there that there is distance. First of all, write out distance. That I've seen distance in my problem. Let me write it out. Now, what again will make you, even though they didn't state at a distance of this, what again will make you to understand that it means distance when you see the unit in meters? As a physics student, I believe in our subsequent videos, we'll be talking about dimensions and also units and measurements. So, meanwhile, before we get there, you should also have it in mind of what we are doing now. Now, you've seen distance in the problem, you've identified it. Those are the relevant concepts. Distance is there. I've taken that distance. Now you heard of time taking at 1 hour. Okay, I'll come and okay, they're giving us time in this problem, 1 hour. Now we are asked to find the speed, of course, of which we know that speed is distance all over time. But what am I trying to let you know that the moment the problem is being given to you, the first thing you have to do, you read across. After reading across, you take out those basic concepts that are required in the problem. Like the one I just stated out, the only 2 concepts they required. That's the distance and the time. That's what I've just seen. That's distinguish the relevant concept. So those are the relevant concepts, and there are so many examples. So as a student or as a newbie who just started studying physics or possibly engineering course or any of those related science subjects, or science course, and you want to, or you having challenges solving physics problems. No, that is why we are here. Explicit physics academic. It's an academic that grows up students from your zero knowledge to up. We are moving up, up, and up. So, what have I just done? And I've just actually let you to know the first step of solving physics problems. Not you running away from it. Read it, take out those concepts, write them down in a piece of paper, set them aside first. And now, after doing that, we now look at step two. Set up the problem. Set up the problem. So after identifying the problem, the second step here is to set up the problem. And now, in setting up the problem, it actually entails you bringing up the necessary equations that suit those quantities you have taken down. If, for instance, I've taken down distance and time, of course, the equation that actually suits this problem is, let's say, speed is equal to distance all over time. Please forgive my handwriting. Of course, it looks somehow tattered, but let's just move on. That's by the way. So, in setting up the problem, after identifying the basic concept, the second step you have to take, don't forget that, is to write down the equation that suits those concepts down. However, and then what I've just done, I just written down the basic concept, and also ensure that the variables coincide, they correlate with the equation. I brought out my equation and check if the variable actually correlates. If they don't, then you should drop that equation. It does not tally very well. That's very, very important. Please take note of that. And now, to make it more easier and more simpler to you, if maybe you actually giving out the problem and an equation will actually give you tough time, you can actually take another step. And what's that step? You drawing diagram. You can sketch a diagram. It makes it so simpler. That's one of the secret that I've been using in solving my problem very easy. And I'm sharing that secret with you as an um, experienced personnel in the field of physics. That is the secret of you solving problems is not only lied on you just writing off the formula. No, it lies on you sketching it out, bringing it out. For instance, let's say a car moves from town A to town B. Okay, I can say, okay, this is my town A, this is town A, to town B, this is town B. Forgive me, let me change the marker. This is town A, and this is town B. Okay, I've sketched out the problem. Can label it town A and town B. I'm trying to set up the problem. I said that the first step you have to do is either you state out the necessary equation that suits those quantities. But if that will also actually take you a tougher time, you can actually sketch it out like this. This is my time, this is my time B. Let's say at a distance of, let's say, 5 kilometers. Right, okay, so that's the distance covered. At a time, 1 hour. It takes all these things, or takes 1 hour. You know, right here, 1 hour. So find the speed, and of course, you know the formula for speed. The speed is distance all over time. I can just say 5 kilometers all over 1 hour, and my answer is equals to 5 kilometers per hour. So the distance traveled by that vehicle or by that bus or truck from town A to town B is 5 kilometers. So that driver is driving at 5 kilometers in an hour. For each hour, he travels at 5 kilometers. For each hour, he's traveling at 5 kilometers. So that is the second steps. Oh, it's beginning to make more sense, right? Okay. And the third step, of course, is to evaluate the solution. After you've written out the equation, or after you've sketched it, I believe you can be able to evaluate the solution, because when you've stated your formula and you've checked if everything is correct, you just have to just state up your solutions. Let me just wipe this up. Okay. Now, the step three, as I said earlier, is evaluate the solution. In evaluation of the solution is where the math comes in. Remember in our last video, that's why I keep on telling you, if you not watched the last video on how to do well in physics, you were to reflect back to it, pause and still go back. That there is a particular step that says you memorizing basic math. And in this, the 3.3 is evaluate the solution. This is where the math comes in. How good are you in those basic math? This is where it comes in. It's very, very simple. Just you applying logarithms, indices, little calculus in your problems, and all of that. That's when solving advanced problems. Start applying integration, differentiation, and much of those advanced maths in there. So, in evaluating the problem, is where you do those little matrix on it. And the last one is evaluate your answers. After you finished evaluating the solution, your answer should be with a right unit. Of course, in the next video, we'll be talking about that. So after you've evaluated your solution, the last answer is to write down your answers with the right unit. Every answer should have a unit, except when stated that you should find a number of atoms or something of sort. That one does not have a unit, but everything you are doing should come out with a unit, because it's the unit that the examiner will actually know that, okay, this student knows what he's doing. Because after solving everything, you've taken the first step, the second step. I've said it earlier. Let me say it again from the beginning. The first step is distinguish the relevant concepts. Those basic concepts that are listed in the problem, you take them down gradually. You state them by writing it down. Second step is to set up the problem. How do I set up my problem? Is by sketching it out. Very, very simple. I can just write it, just put on little trigonometry sketch. And the third step is where the little math come in, is where you analyze. And the fourth one is to evaluate your answer, is when you give your answer with the appropriate decimal point, significant figure, and also unit. And you compare. I believe even in this point three, evaluating your solution, you've already gotten an idea of what your answer will be like. So when you are getting to a point where that's evaluating your answers, you should tally with what you've actually approximated or what you've actually estimated initially. I believe these 4 points are they are very clear. I've actually stated all 4 points of solving physics problems, distinguish the relevant concept, set up the problem, evaluate the solution, and the last step is evaluate your answers. These are the basic 4 steps of solving physics problems. I believe this video I've been able to get rid of that, of the problems whenever a problem is given to you, or whenever you approach a problem in physics. Always reflect back to this video, check out the 4 steps, the 4 basic steps of solving physics problems. Keep on watching it until you get acquainted with it. And I believe that you find it so and so valuable. If you've not subscribed to the channel, we've come to the end of this video. You have to subscribe, click on the subscribe button, and also click on that like button, because it will help this video go viral. And also don't forget to comment when you're having questions. Remember, when you ask questions, you get enlightened, and we are always there to give answers to your questions. Of course, if maybe you want to get to us directly, you can reach us at our email at explicitphysicsacademic@gmail.com. We are also on Facebook, Explicit Physics Academic, and search us there as well. You can follow us and also ask us questions, see what's going on, where we upload our pictures, and also tutor students. A lot of students are out there following us across the borders, Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So you can as well do same. Follow us on Facebook, see what our update, what we are posting on daily basis, and you actually enjoy it out there. I believe you have a lovely time in this video, and we're going to meet some other time again. Thank you.